What's up, guys? We're back with another video. This one is about sexual transmute. Why I'm an advocate about it, why you should continue on with sexual transmutation. And I use my words very specifically within the title of this video because sexual transmutation has a lot of language around it, okay? People say seed retention, people say semen retention, people say no fap. There's a lot of contingencies, and if you're not into the space, you may think they're all the same thing. They're not. They all kind of have their own ways to go and their own differences. I'm not really that big of a fan of semen retention, and I'm not that big of a fan of, well, semen retention and seed retention are like the same thing. If you don't know the differences, I can go over them real quick. Semen retention is completely withstanding abstinence. Okay, this is not having anything at all, right? I was on that for a while. I did about 300 days of that. You can watch that video here where I reviewed it and all that stuff. I did it when I was a little bit younger. I think I was about 19 at the time. The biggest contingency I get with semen retention is people ask me, oh, what if I have like a girlfriend, or what if I have, things like this. That's why I use sexual transmutation in the title, because I think that you have a relationship and that's completely fine, because sexual transmutation is you exchanging. And I think that's the biggest thing with this whole thing is people do not know the power that sexual energy truly has. People just, they don't understand it, they don't know it. They just want to bump bodies and have fun, or they just want to watch porn, or you want to do things like this over and over and over again. Why? Simply because it feels good. Now, of course, you guys know I disagree with the whole thing of we should feel good all the time, and we should do things to just feel good. Why? Because if a crackhead smokes crack, that probably feels good. I'm sure crack feels amazing. I would never do crack simply because I know the negative implications that it could have with it. So if you're exchanging energies with somebody you actually love and somebody you like, then that's completely different. What I'm completely against is porn and one night stands or bumping into a random person and just doing your thing. The reason why I'm completely against this is because I think it's a waste. What do I mean as in a waste? Well, how can it be a waste if you're having fun, right? How can it be a waste if you're having fun, if you feel good, if you both enjoyed it? That's because your energy can be put in certain directions and certain places that are more beneficial. See, in this third dimensional world, we don't believe in energy. We don't believe in a spiritual world that is behind this world. It's just simply because we are constantly living in a third dimension. This is what we see. We only really see a glimpse of the spiritual world when we are going to sleep, or when we close our eyes and we imagine something. See, when you close your eyes and you imagine, something, that is actually a glimpse of the spiritual world. That's why we promote things like visualization and imagination. Oh, the magic, if you read books like When You Grow Rich, The Magic of Thinking Big, they constantly go into the realm of visualization. Why is visualization so powerful? Because you're getting a glimpse into the spiritual realm. And if you know anything about the spiritual realm, that the spiritual realm is actually what creates our realm, what creates our world. If you look at things around you, you realize quickly that it was created. It was created by a God or humans or animals. Everything is a creation in of itself. If you look at yourself, you were created. You were created by sexual transmutation. You are actually a product of sexual energy, of transmuting sexual energy into a being of the masculine and the feminine bodies coming together and creating a clone of itself, of a replication of its energy signature. Point being that if you take this energy and you don't waste it, see, that's why I think, like, if you have a relationship, that's not wasting the energy. But if you're doing it with somebody you don't feel that love for, that's kind of wasting the energy. If you are participating in PMO, that's kind of wasting the energy. Well, that is wasting the energy because you're not giving it to somebody or you're not giving it to your purpose. A lot of people are like, oh, I want to get a good body. I want to get a good body. How do I get a good body? What people don't understand is in order to step into that good body, in order to step into higher places, you have to become that being first, and then you step into that good body. So you have to actually think, what would an in-shape person do? People who are in shape don't just spew their energy everywhere, simply because you can use this energy when you're in the gym. You can use this energy to build your business. You can use this energy to become a higher version of yourself. It's a creation energy. If you look at religions, they all agree upon this. In Christianity, it says, cut. This is not going to be the exact quote, but in Christianity it says, cut your hand off if you are going to sin. Some shit like that. Hold up. But it says something like that, right? If you feel like you're going to sin, cut your hand off. And people say, oh, they're not talking about masturbation. They're not talking about. I'm pretty like, I don't think they have to plainly, oh, here we're talking about masturbation. Like, no, that's clearly what they're talking about. This came out of Jesus's mouth specifically. Cut your hand off if you're going to sin, because he says you rather not have a hand than go into hell, which we understand that hell is a spiritual realm, but it's also a mind state. Like how I said previously, the spiritual realm is in your mind. So you can get a taste of hell while you're here. Why do you think people are depressed? Why do you think people are sad? You have to understand what dopamine truly is, right? We have the most dopamine that we have ever had in the history of humanity, but we have also some of the most depressed people we've had in the history of humanity. We have so much comfort, but so much sadness at the exact same time. It's because we have to weed ourselves off of this dopamine. We have to actually fight back and counteract dopamine. That's how people get a taste of hell while they're on earth. While they're in their mind, they actually feel hell. They feel hell. Why? Because they're delving constantly into low vibrational habits, until it becomes a cycle and they're stuck in that plane. So this is why I believe that sexual transmutation is extremely powerful. You can transmute this thing into your business, into working out, into all these planes of existence. Once you understand the power of sexual transmutation, you're never gonna want to masturbate again. You're never gonna want to do pointless things again. And then you even go a little deeper. I'm not even talking about just masturbate. I'm talking about looking at images in a sexual way, looking at people in a sexual way. You have to understand that although you're not actually doing the act, you are participating in a form of sexual transmutation. You're transmuting that sexual energy to them instead of transmuting that sexual energy to your purpose, your passions, what you actually want to create. What people don't understand, and I'm not super rich, and some people could say I'm not super successful. It is what it is. I'm getting this information from people who have made trillions and millions of dollars. Look up Dale Carnegie, the author of Think and Grow Rich. But he said, and this is not an exact quote, that you can shortcut your way to riches. You can become wealthy, successful while you're in your 20s rather than your 40s, which is the time that most people do it, just because of sexual energy. Read Think and Grow Rich, the sexual transmutation chapter, the chapter that they were going to completely cut out of the book because it sounded so crazy. But when he was researching millionaires and people who have come